friends. Happy Tuesday. I am April Davis with April Davis Creations. Today is Tuesday, September 16th. It's 2 p.m. Time for my Facebook Live. I'm also, if I didn't mention it, I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin Up. And so happy to be here and share with you today. Excuse me. Pardon me. Anyway, I've got a fun set that I want to share with you today. And I thought what we would do is we would start by just showing you the mini catalog. So give me just a second, I'm going to switch over. Hopefully you've gotten your hands on one of the mini catalogs. If you haven't, let me know. I'm happy to stick one in the mail to you if you don't have another demonstrator that you're working with. This became effective the 1st of September, so it's only been out for a couple of weeks, but there's a lot of fun stuff in it. Hey, Mom, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Excuse me, I might have to get a sip of water. Anyway, the particular set that we're working on today is the Peace on Earth set, and I'm actually going to show you. It's in the catalog on pages 32 and 33. You've got a whole page of just ideas, plus I'm going to share some ideas with you today. And then it's a sweet collection, so there's a lot of different things in it. So I thought I would share that with you just because I think it's gorgeous and I'm excited to create with it today. So the first thing I want to bring up is our designer series paper. This designer series paper focuses on some of the new ink colors: Secret Sea, Cloud Cover, a Misty, Moonlight, which is not new, it's been around for a while, but look how gorgeous and deep these colors are. You've got the doves, lots of leaves. I've been utilizing this paper a lot. This is all I have left of it. I'll show you the back side in just a second. But you've got some leaves and berries. You've got, like, I'm going to call this like baby's breath. And then some more doves. And this is what I call the A side. And then if you flip it over to the B side, you've got a fun, I'm going to call this like a basic beige or a crumb cake. This one looks like tire tracks. That's what I think of first. Then you've got a fun green. I was going to look to see. Let me just give a quick look. Cloud cover. You've got like diamonds in this one, and then you've got another one that's just kind of looks like a watercolor splatter. And then this particular one, which is on the back of this one, is some more fun flowers. It's just a fun paper, gorgeous paper. In addition to the designer series paper, they also have what they call the Peaceful Garden Glimmer paper. And look how pretty this is. This is a blue. This actually is a green. It's a very, very, very light green. And then this is a gray. So hi Sandra, good to see you. So we're going to be incorporating some of this in the paper or in the cards today as well. Also in this suite, you have this 3D embossing folder that you can utilize. We are actually utilizing it today, but you'll see in the actual stamp set with the bundle, the dies, these dies can actually fit. So you can cut a die and fit it into your embossing folder. But the dies have several doves. I'm going to call this maybe, what would you call it? Like an olive branch, or I'm not sure, that, you know, the doves carry around in their mouth. These are little envelopes. This cuts 2 of those. And you've got some dies that actually cut stars. I don't know if you can see those or not. I'm going to bring them up a little bit closer. And then you've got some greenery as well. And then, of course, the stamps, which are photopolymer. In addition to that, you've got the Misty Moonlight ribbon. This is a really pretty ribbon that has like a silver edge to it. So we're going to be utilizing a little bit of this today as well. And then last but not least, we've got the hues of blue flowers. And these hues of blue are literally hues of blue. You've got, for example, some ivory or some white. This is Cloud Cover, this is Misty Moonlight, and this is Secret Sea. So, fun set, and we're going to be utilizing a good portion of it today. So let me move these things out of the way, and I will share with you what we're doing today. As a reminder, today is a to-go class, which means that the class in itself is free. However, if you like the cards that we create today, then you can get the kit for free by placing an order in my online store. And I'll just put this up real quick so you guys can see it. Let's see. Yep, aprildaviscreations.com. If you go there under classes and clubs, you can find the information for the to-go kit. Of course, you're going to need the bundle. I don't do any stamping or die cutting for you that is incorporated in the bundle, but everything else I will provide. So the designer series paper, the cardstock, the ribbon, embellishments, all of those come in your kit. So let's talk about the cards. All right, here's our first one. Isn't this pretty? Heartfelt prayers. We're utilizing the embossing folder, the dove. We're going to do it in Misty, Moonlight. And I've actually done the inside as well on this one. Then we've got another one here. This is Heartfelt Prayers. And this one's created so you've got like a little special space to add another little message in it. So we're going to be doing that one. And then we've got a very simple one. And I'm actually going to be kind of stepping these cards up just a little bit because you know how I am. I like to play and do things a little bit differently. So I'm doing that. And let me just double check something. Make sure you guys are saying hello. So I'm pretty sure I'm live, but yes, I am. All right. So we've got Heartfelt Prayers here, and we'll do a little bit different with this as well. So let's see. The first one we're going to do is this one. So let me pull out the kit. I need to stay in screen for you guys. I'm going to stay down low this time. Okay, so we've got Misty Moonlight as our card base. I've already taken a piece of basic white and I've embossed it with, hi Diana. Oh, that's fine. You can catch the replay too, but I'm so glad you're here and you said hello. So we've got the embossing folder that we're going to be utilizing. I've already done that for us. We've got a couple of additional layers. Misty Moonlight, basic white. I've got some of our designer series paper that we're going to be utilizing. And then I also went ahead and cut our dove for us. So let's start to build. The first thing I'm going to do is get my stamping out of the way. And these are photopolymer stamps. So I am going to bring in my Stampin' Pierce mat. Kind of dirty. I've been doing a lot of embossing on it. But we're going to bring this in and we are actually going to stamp with Heartfelt Prayers. So what's fun about this set, I think, is it's really good for sympathy cards, you know, just letting people know that you're there in your thoughts. But because it's Peace on Earth and it has the doves, you could certainly utilize it for Christmas as well and pull out your own Christmas sentiments. But peace, love, and joy, that's kind of Christmassy to me. All the best in your new adventure. That's wishing someone well, something exciting's happened. Heartfelt prayers, big hugs for a good friend. Peace on earth, to me, that's kind of Christmassy. Obviously with deepest sympathy. And then you've got love, sending, and wishing you. So you can do wishing you love, sending love, a number of different ways that you can utilize this. But what I love about the fact that it's sentiments is that I can create the cards, and if I don't want to use these sentiments specifically, I can use other sentiments. And then of course I've got the dies that are included so that I can incorporate my other sentiments or whatever it is I want to incorporate into making these cards different. All right, back to this. I am actually going to stamp Heartfelt Prayers in Misty Moonlight. Excuse me, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and ink up my stamp, checking it out. I'm going to come down here to the bottom. Sorry if my head gets in the way a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and get that stamped. I feel like it maybe isn't straight. It's straight enough. I think it looks good. All right, so we're going to go with that. And let's go ahead and clean this stamp off. So we've got that. Now, before we actually layer this on, well, let's do this. We're going to take our designer series paper. I'm also going to incorporate ribbon. So let's go ahead and get our designer series paper on. And then what I can do is I can put my ribbon, straddle my ribbon over the seam, if you will. You'll see what I mean here in just a second. So let's go ahead and get this glue on and get this centered up the way I want it. And let's see, I can scooch it around a little bit to make sure that I'm getting it where I want it to be. Okay, so now we've got that layer. Now I'm going to bring in that pretty ribbon that I was showing you. and we are going to place it at the bottom of the designer series paper, hanging over so you can't actually see that seam where the designer series paper stops. So let me go ahead and do this. I'm gonna take my ribbon snips and I'm gonna just snip it right about there. And then I can bring in my seal and I'm gonna turn this over, get this straight the way I want it, turn it over, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of seal on this side, fold my ribbon over, and then I wanna make sure it's straight, so I'm gonna do this again. And then turn this one over, get my seal here, flip that over, and now my ribbon is in place. Okay, now what we can do is we can take this layer and place it down on this layer. Okay, so that's what we'll do next. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'm gonna turn this just so that I can get it lined up the way I want it. And then of course I'm going to, oh, I did pretty good, actually. Not too much scooching needs to be done this time around. Okay, so we've got this layer. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and take our base. Let me move this mat out of the way. We're going to go ahead and take our card base and fold it in half. I'm going to kind of line it up using my bone folder to burnish it. And then we're going to take this layer. And again, I could put a label here if I wanted to. That's not what I'm looking for today. So I'm gonna make sure my card opens on in the right way. Let's go ahead and get this down. I'm making sure I've got plenty enough glue on this one because it is an embossed layer. So I've got a lot of peaks and valleys in here, so only certain parts of the card are going to stick to the card base because of the fact that it's been embossed. So scooching this around, making sure I'm getting it centered the way I want it. Such pretty cards and so easy to make. So now we've got this. So we're going to go ahead and now we're going to adhere this. And I'm going to center this in the middle of the card so that you guys can see the embossing around it. So let's go ahead and I'm going to pull out dimensionals, and I'm still utilizing the dimensionals. I finished the actual round dimensionals, so now I'm just kind of utilizing the edges. I don't want to waste any of my dimensionals, so I kind of snip these off, and then I can peel and stick and get these down. So we'll get one on each side. Let's do this side. We have an outdoor theater here in Kansas City called Starlight. And Ray and I have tickets to go see Life of Pi tonight. We have season tickets, and tonight is Life of Pi. I'm really excited to go see this. But there's weather looming, and we're trying to kind of keep an eye on it. We can reschedule our tickets if we need to, because I would rather do that than sit outside during a thunderstorm. We had thunderstorms last night. But I'm really excited about going, so I don't want to jump the gun and reschedule, but at the same time, because it's supposed to rain tomorrow too, so there's not really a good time for us to be able to go. I'm going to pull this up. I didn't push it down, but I'm going to pull it up and do my little trick on putting glue behind it, because I just didn't feel like I got it centered appropriately, and so I want to be able to move it around. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of it, and then I can move this around if I need to. And the other thing is, if I do that, then it's pretty much guaranteed that I'll get it in the place where I want it the first time around. So if you want to get it straight, put glue on it. Now see, I didn't go up high enough, so I've got to pick it up again, and we're going to bring it up a little bit higher this time so that I can make sure that I'm getting this centered the way that I want it. But anyway, so I'm kind of watching the weather and hoping that we can go tonight because it's only supposed to get worse as the week progresses. Wednesday and Thursday are really supposed to be stormy days. So now that I've got this done, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of my dove. And I'll do the exact same thing again. Oh, look, I found one. Hold on just a second. I have several of these sheets. That's why I'm like, I need to use these up. This is the front of my dove. That's the back of my dove. I want to make sure I use the back of my dove. So I've got one here that I can use. And then I've got another one we're going to put right here. And I think I'm going to put one in the center as well. Let's see. Let's do this one. So we'll do that. There we go. Okay, let's move these out of the way and let's take the backs off of these. So now we're going to place our dove, and we're going to place our dove probably right about there, I think. And then I'm going to bring in our flowers, and I think I really, really like the Misty Moonlight. I used a lighter flower on the last card, but I think I want to go ahead and use a darker flower on this one. So we're going to take the Misty Moonlight flower, and I'm going to place it right here. We're just going to do the one. And then I did not bring in supplies for me to do the inside, so I'm going to go back and show you guys the inside again on this one. But basically, you're just taking your 4 by 5 1/4 cardstock, stamping in big hugs for a good friend or whatever your sentiment might be. And then in this set, it has the greenery. It doesn't have a stamp of the greenery because remember the stamps are all sentiments. So because I wanted to have some something in here besides just a sentiment, I went ahead and die cut the greenery out of Misty Moonlight, and then I was able to glue it inside. So here we go. What a pretty card. And it would be nice to just have several of these made up in advance so that when you do need to send some heartfelt prayers to somebody that is in need of them, you can pull out your card, write them a sweet note, and get that in the mail to them. So that's card number 1. Let's look at card number 2. All right, bringing this one in. Let me clean up this mess just a little bit so we don't have that as a distraction. Might not be for you, but it is for me. So let me bring this kit. We're going to be using our cloud cover cardstock. I've got a label that we're going to utilize for a little hidden note. And then let me just kind of show you what else we've got going on here, because there's a lot of little pieces here. So we've got a piece of the designer series paper that's going to go here. I've got a piece of basic white that I'm going to stamp on, and it's going to go here. And then we've got some of that glitter paper. Now I'm changing this up. I'm not utilizing the same paper that I used on the original card, as you can obviously see. But that's what's fun about this set, is, and especially the designer series paper, is you can change things up a bit. So I did use the cloud cover. I've got just a teeny tiny piece here that I ran through the embossing folder. And then I've got a piece of the blue, which the blue is what we initially used on the first card. But I love this gray. So I'm thinking I might want to do the gray for this. And then I've got my label that I'm going to stamp a sentiment on. And I've got 2 choices. I can make the end of the label the same as the card, the designer series paper on the front of the card, or I can flip it over and we can do it like this. So lots of choices here, but the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with just getting my stamping done. So heartfelt prayers again. This time, because I'm using the dark designer series paper, let me pull this back down so you guys can see, and I'm thinking about using this gray, is I think I'm going to stamp heartfelt prayers this time in Secret Sea. I love Secret Sea. It's one of my favorite new ink colors. So let's go ahead and get this stamped. So heartfelt prayers, tap, tap, tap. And I'm gonna put it off to the side here because I'm gonna cover the other part up a bit. I'm trying to make sure I get this straight. So let's give it just a second for the ink to transfer to the paper. There we go, we've got that. Let's clean this off. Oh, well, we do have some stamping to do. So we're gonna do some more. We've got sending love. That's gonna be on the inside of our little tag. So the way we're gonna do that is, well, let me clean this off before I get it all over me. Gotta do that first. Sending love is not one stamp. It is two stamps. It's sending and it is love. So I'm gonna start with love and I'm just gonna stamp love, and I'm gonna also do this in Secret C. So let's go ahead and get that inked up. Looking through, make sure I've got good coverage. So I'm gonna place it right here. There we go. Clean that one off. And then we'll do the sending. And then I can center the sending wherever I want it above my love. So let's do it this way. Got it. And then I think I'm just gonna kind of tuck it in on the other side of this L, and we'll just do sending love this way. There we go. Sending love. Little crooked, but it's okay, it's handmade. All right, so we've got that done. Now, let's go ahead, since we're working on this tag, let's finish it up. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to utilize the opposite side of the paper that we've got. So this is the paper that we're using, and this is the opposite side. So it'll give it a little bit of contrast. What I did when I was die cutting this is, of course, I used the die to cut out the label. And then I just took my paper and laid it down. It was straight. Took my paper and was able to take my die over the top of it. So I didn't waste any of it. I didn't like do a full label, and this is actually the larger one, but I didn't do a full label and then cut it. I just put some of the paper in and lined it up and was able to cut it this way. So that's way we can get that little end to this tag. So let's go ahead and get it glued down. So I'll get that done. Get this lined up. So this piece will be done. And then I'm just gonna scooch around to get all the edges to line up. Okay, so this part's done. And you could still write a little note here if you wanted to, or you could use the back to write a note as well. So let's go ahead, this one goes with this one. Let's go ahead and start to build this card up a bit. Let me fold it in half. That way I know what I'm working with and centering it appropriately. All right. So I'm gonna lay this back out again the way that I want it. I don't know that this paper is necessarily directional. If it is, I don't know which direction I like that way. Okay, we'll go with that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna place this where I want it to be, because what I'm gonna be doing is I wanna get it centered appropriately, and I wanna make sure my edges are equal. So that means that I need to move this over just a little bit. So I've got the same amount of space on this side as I do that side. And then we've got this. Okay. This piece is actually going up on dimensional. So it's gonna be a place saver, if you will, but I'm not putting it down until last. So get this where I want it. All right, so let's go ahead and put the sentiment down first. And you can kind of use this sentiment as your centering piece. So basically I can put this down and it's centered on both sides. So I'm pretty good to go there. I want to make sure that it's straight. So let me pull it up for just a second. Make sure it's straight. Now what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and put this piece back. We're not going to put it on just yet. You could, but I'm not going to for the moment. And now what I want to do is I want to get these other pieces down. So this piece is going to go, it's going to butt up right next to it. So let's go ahead and get this one down. Okay. We're going to butt it up right next to it. Okay. And then we're going to take this dark gray. Is that what it's called? I believe they said it was a gray. It doesn't, I mean, to me it looks like secret. See, I'm just looking real quick. It's called dark gray. Yep, there you go. All right, so we're gonna take this dark gray. We're gonna put the dark gray down. And I'm just gonna line this up with the edge of my sentiment and with my embossed piece. So we've got that all lined up. Okay, so now we can work on this piece. Now, this piece needs to be able to incorporate our little secret message that we've got going here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put dimensionals, I'm gonna turn it over, but I'm gonna put dimensionals on this side, and this side. So when I turn it over, it's gonna be this side, and this side. So let me bring my dimensionals in. And they don't need to be skinny, but I want to make sure that I get enough room to be able to slide my little sentiment in. So let's go ahead and get these down. I'm going to do a little bit of cutting here. Let me see. I want to make sure I use the right snips. Where'd my snips go? Oh, here they are, guys. Gosh, it's such a small space to lose things like I do, but it happens. All right, so we're going to do this side, I believe. If not, then my image will change just a little bit, but it's not a big deal. All right, so we've got this and this, and then I just need a little bit more because I want to make sure that I get plenty enough support for it. So let's do this one and this one, and then I'm going to double check to make sure, you can see, my little tag's gonna be able to fit in there. So this is gonna be the open side. Which way should that go? I think that works. So let's go ahead and get this down. Get the backs off. And again, I'm just using up my dimensionals. We have little strips that you can use, or you can use little mini dimensionals. I just am using these up so that I can get into a new pack of these. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. And I'm going to line it up here. And I'm also gonna butt it up against the pieces that I just put down. Okay, so we've got that, and now our little tag slides in there. So you can put, obviously, another sheet in here with an additional sentiment or maybe a note, but how fun is that to have like this little tag that pulls out that says sending love. Now I'm gonna put some little embellishments on this one, but I think I'm gonna put it on the tag. And again, I think I want to utilize the dark just because I feel like I want it to pop. I don't want it to not be, I don't want it to be inconspicuous, okay? So here we go. Now we have just completed card number 2, and you can see I did them up a little bit differently. But how pretty is that paper? To be able to change things up. We changed up the glitter paper. I used a different backing for the end of my little tag. So card number 2, such easy cards. All right, let's bring in this next one because I'm gonna change it up again as well. This one, initially, for a quick card, piece of cardstock, you've got some strips, you've got your heartfelt prayers, and I'm using heartfelt prayers all the way through, and then this has got some greenery that was cut in white, right? Okay, let me bring this in. So we've got our basic white, and I decided that I like the idea of having a layer. So I'm going to add an additional layer to this, and I'll get it created and then we'll decide if we're gonna pop it up or not. I also cut several pieces of the designer series paper, okay? And then we have, let's see, is that it? That's it. I have some greenery. I'm calling it greenery, even though it's not green, in the white. And then this time I wanted to do it in a second color. So we're gonna do it in the Secret Sea. So the first thing we need to do is I'm gonna actually stamp my heartfelt prayers. And I'm gonna stamp heartfelt prayers in the center. Hopefully I can get it straight, but I will put my designer series paper then around the heartfelt prayers. So I'm just kind of looking at it. I want it to come down a little bit lower because I'm going to put 2 of the designer series paper strips above, 1 below. So let's go ahead and let's get heartfelt prayers inked up. We're going to do it in Secret Sea as well. So let's go ahead and get that done. And I do want to stamp on my mat just because I get a better stamp when I do that. There's a little bit of a cushion. All right, so let's go ahead and get this layered up the way that I wanted. Let's go right about here, I'm thinking. There we go, that looks good. Okay, so let's clean this off. We're gonna put our ink away. And we're gonna start to layer these. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna decide how I want this to layer. So maybe I've got one here, I've got one here, and then I've got another one that's gonna go here. So maybe I'm gonna turn that over. I feel like it needs to go this way. So we'll do it like this. And maybe I'm gonna come down a little bit farther because I'm gonna have a lot of room here at the top. That's okay. But I wanna make sure that things are kind of spaced. You guys can do it however you choose to do it. But I wanna just kind of have it spaced out equally, if you will. Not necessarily from top to bottom, but all right, so before I put these down, what I'm going to do is I'm gonna add a little bit of texture to this. So I'm gonna take this piece and I'm just gonna tear the edge of it. And I'm gonna tear it towards me because if I tear it towards me, then I've got the white showing. And I didn't like how jagged that was, so I'm gonna do it again. So now I've got this and we're gonna line this one up. Okay, and then I will take this one and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna tear this side of it. Is that the side? I want it to go this way. Okay, so we're gonna tear this side and I'm gonna place it right here. And then we'll do the same thing on this one, only I want the tear on this side this time. So we're gonna do it again and you can see the white, which gives you that texture. Okay. So, lining these up, and I'm going to start to lay these down. Hopefully you guys are still seeing things. I'm looking and it looks like maybe I'm frozen, which I hope I'm not. It looks like I'm still recording, so if I am frozen and you guys can't see, then be sure to watch it on the YouTube channel. But it looks like I might be frozen. I'm not sure. I can't tell. So let me do a
that we're using.
Okay. Sorry,
and
guys.
This is the opposite side, so give it a little bit of contrast.
Pause this a second.
What I did when I was die cutting this is
I was afraid I was frozen. It doesn't appear that I am, so that's good. That's good, that's good. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. We've got this one down, and we'll get this one down. I can see you now, but oh, it has been frozen a few times. Sandra, thank you for letting me know. I'm hoping that the version that I upload to YouTube is not frozen, but I happen to have it going on my computer and I saw that I was frozen. So apologies for that. I just never know what the internet's gonna do. But the good news is it looks like I'm still recording on my Switcher Studios. So if that be the case, then when it gets uploaded, you'll have a better version of it. Okay, now that I've got those down, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my greenery, if you will, and I'm gonna layer it. And I have to decide, do I want to put my white down first? Let's see. I'm gonna put the white down and the blue on top of it. No, I think I want my blue down first. Do I want the white on the top? I thought it was me, but Alexa's still working, so and doesn't define. It's not you, I'm sure it's not you. I restarted everything, but I don't know. Sometimes things just get kind of weird around here, and I don't know why. So apologies ahead of time. Sometimes I can do this and I don't have any issues at all, and then other times I don't know what causes it to pause or spin or whatever it is that it does. I'm going to actually use my tweezers to get this set up, and I'm going to take this up higher. So I'm going to put it off to the edge. I'm going to take it up above my strip, so you see where it's going there. Mom, was it freezing for you? You said I see it also. Was it freezing for you, or you can just see now? Okay, so let me get the little dots on the back here. Again, you don't need a lot of glue to get these to go down. I just do little bitty dots, and my precision tip glue bottle really is helpful with that. So let me get this turned around like so, and then I'm going to come down here and I'm just going to kind of layer this around my heartfelt prayers. So let me hold this down for just a second. And in fact, if I wanted to, I could take my block, hold that there for just a second, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring in my base layer. Let me pull this stuff out of the way. I'll bring in the base layer and we'll fold that in half and burnish it. Okay. And then I'm going to decide, because again, I'm going a little bit rogue on this card. I love the idea of having that second layer. I do. But I think what I want to do is I want to pop this layer up to give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm going to turn this over. And this time I'm actually, do I want to do this? I'll bring in my, let me see. We'll bring in the ones that I haven't used. So that sheet's clean. I've got a little bit on this one, and then I've got some little mini dimensionals that we'll use. I thought about bringing out my black dimensionals. I'm going to bring them out just to show them to you if you guys aren't aware of the fact. But Stampin' Up, not only do they have the white dimensionals, but they also have black dimensionals, which are great when you are creating and you've got a dark piece and you don't want that white from the dimensional showing per se. The nice part about these dimensionals is they come with both the black and the totally frozen, but not now, right, Mom? The black dimensionals and the regular size, and then the mini dimensionals. So when you get a package of these, you get both. Whereas the white, you either get mini or you get the large. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use up what I've got here because this is now empty. Let me see if I have any others that I can use up. I think what I'm going to do, rather than use these little ones, I've got edges on this. Hold on, guys. I've got edges on this. I'm just going to go ahead and use the edges on this too. So I'm going to go ahead and snip these, even though I haven't gotten into these little minis yet. I'm going to go ahead and start using the edges ahead of time, just because it makes more sense for what I'm doing with this particular one. So we'll go ahead and do this. Pull this off. Put it here. And I'm just going to go all the way around to make sure that my layer gets some support. Here and here, and I gotta snip a few more and then I'll be ready to go. So let me go ahead and do this. It wasn't really my plan to play with my dimensionals, but I gotta use these edges anyway, right? Okay. Gone again. I am? Oh no, it doesn't look like it on my end. Maybe this time it's you. because I'm watching it on my computer. My computer's still moving. So, interesting. Uh-oh. All right, let's get this backs off. I have no idea what's causing these little system issues. All right. Get these out of the way. And I am gonna put glue on the backs of these again, just because I need to be able to move these around if I need to. These dimensionals are really, really sticky. And if you can put it down and get it in the right place right out of the gate, I am so impressed. That just doesn't work for me all the time. I can do better getting it straight if I put glue on the back, and then it's almost kind of like what I'm trying to think of Murphy's Law or something. You know, I can get it straight if I do a preventative, but if I don't do a preventative, then I won't get it straight. That actually looks pretty good. Okay, I'll show you the difference between the two in just a second. We've got one more thing that we want to do with this particular card, and we want to go ahead and put our flowers on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do, I think, boy, today is just, I don't know what it is about today. Today is my Secret Sea day. So I'm going to use Secret Sea flowers. So we'll go ahead and do that again here. And then I've got another one that I'm going to put, do I want to put it down here? Yeah, I'll put it down here. That looks good. All right, so let me bring this one up so you guys can see it again. But how pretty is that? How simple? How simple was that? I go out and come back again and you're okay, so that's why I thought it was me. Maybe, Sandra, you're so sweet. Maybe it's a combination of the two of us. I'm not sure. Anyway, see the dimension on this? See how pretty that is? I just love that dimension. And then this one is just flat. Now, here's the deal. This is fine too. This is simple. You'll get this done quicker. You don't have to put as much time and effort into this one as you did this one. It just depends upon what you are interested in doing. Okay, now I am frozen. It's spinning. Oh my gosh, I'm almost done, guys. I'm almost done. Anyway, okay, so here's card number 3. Card number 3 is done. I love them both. I think they're both equally pretty. So let's go ahead and put these here. I'm gonna bring back in card number 2. I'm spinning. I don't know if you guys are still able to see, but here's card number 2. I changed it up a little bit. Let's see if we can get these both in here. So you can just see how you can just tweak things up a little bit. You don't have to make this number 2. Number 2, yes, absolutely. I like them all. And then of course we've got card number 1. What happened to card number 1? Card number 1 is, oh my goodness, seriously? How do I lose things here? Guys, I mean, it's almost laughable. Seriously, I don't even know where that card went. Oh my goodness. All right, give me a sec. Oh, here it is, found it. I like card number 1 too, because I love the dove and the embossing folder. So here we go. Cards number 1, 2, and 3. Now, because this is a to-go class, if you decide that this is a kit that you're interested in, you will get enough product, cardstock, designer series paper, to create all 6 cards. So you'll be ready to go. And again, don't hesitate to change up your sentiments. Maybe you don't need 6 cards to say heartfelt prayers. That's okay. You can put whatever sentiment you want in there with sympathy or happy holidays or Merry Christmas, or you do whatever you want, thinking of you. So all 6 cards, let me come back. And which one's your favorite? Oh, you love the dove? Oh, you do. Sandra loves the dove. Mom, which one's your favorite? The dove? The heartfelt, well, don't pick heartfelt prayers because they're all heartfelt prayers. Anyway, I'm going to come back and thank you guys so much for being with me. Sorry for the technical difficulties. No idea what was going on with that. But hopefully when it gets loaded up to YouTube, if you need to watch it again, it's all there on YouTube. But I did enjoy you guys joining us. I got my flowers on. I'm going to show you this one. I got my flowers on this one. What you didn't see, the dove. Yeah, the dove's my favorite, one of my favorites too. We could have taken some, let me see. It's kind of fun playing with these cameras. I don't know which is which. I could have taken some linen thread and put a little bow on it. I opted not to, but again, this is how you can change up these cards as you're moving forward. So just have fun. That's what you do, is you just have fun and play and see what it looks like going a different direction. So again, thank you guys so much. Please keep me in your prayers tonight, and that it does not rain, at least until after the show is over, since it's an outdoor theater. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks again, everyone. Bye.